I do a lot of patch note reviews on this channel for games that I'm currently playing or upcoming games or upcoming updates or what have you. This video is going to be a patch note video for me. If you want to know what the plans are, the TLDR, the things that I'm planning, you can just skip. There's going to be chapters in this video, so you can skip to whatever the future part is. But don't worry, nothing bad happened. Nothing bad is going to happen. And nothing's going to be drastically different, and I'm not going away. Don't worry. It's nothing extreme. I just initially wanted to make this into an announcement on Discord through text, and then I realized I had a couple too many things to say, so I figured making a video would just be a little bit better. So don't worry. I've had my Twitch channel for a long time, and I have always streamed just for fun, mostly PvP, some other games, but overall, I never ever before streamed with the goal of becoming a full-time streamer. Whenever I went live in the past, it was always just to have fun. So when the popularity that came from Lost Ark PvP community sort of being a lot larger at launch, and the canon video that I did with Blinks and canon reviewing the class balance, whatever, that was a very sudden influx of people and eyes on my Twitch channel that I didn't want to squander. But because I was severely underprepared for that happening, it sort of caught me by surprise. It fell on my head, and because of that, I did a couple of things from ignorance that I kind of held on to that I am now realizing are not very good for me anymore. The first thing is that I created this persona, not faking my personality by any means, but being a lot more amplified, a lot more energetic, a lot more loud equals funny type thing. I've been a lot more calm recently, but in general, that has been the thing. And that kind of drove the joke that a lot of people say, where they think that the Laufie that records YouTube videos is a different person from the Laufie that streams on Twitch. Because it's true, I am a lot different on YouTube, because on YouTube, I'm just talking to the camera alone. I'm not in streamer mode, so I'm a lot more natural. I'm a lot more myself. But because I was unprepared completely for going full-time suddenly and my stream working out suddenly, I thought that if I wasn't amplifying myself to the highest degree, that people would get bored and leave. I scared myself into thinking that. The other thing that this sudden surge of popularity that came into my stream did was that it created a niche that I didn't exactly agree to. I started from PvP. A lot of people were watching me to watch a good PvP, like Bard gameplay, POV, whatever. And my initial assumption was that people weren't watching me for me, people were watching me for my content. And so when PvP died down, inevitably, I pivoted to PvE in Lost Ark. I enjoyed it, but I had this innate fear that if I wasn't streaming an MMORPG, and I wasn't amplifying my personality to the highest degree, that people were going to get bored and leave. And so I locked myself into MMORPGs as my niche, which is good to do when you're starting off, when you're a smaller streamer. That is typically the advice that is given. But in the long run, I ended up committing to only streaming MMORPGs because that was pretty much the formula that was working. And I enjoy MMOs. But it made me worry about streaming literally anything else on my channel because I was worried that it wasn't going to do well. Now that brings me into the present. I haven't streamed for about a week so far. And that doesn't sound like a long time, a week, but for me it is. And I think it's the first time I've actually taken a break from streaming that long. And it wasn't unscheduled, it was unplanned. It just sort of happened suddenly because even in the couple of months leading up to it, I felt that I was going live, not because I wanted to, but just because it was something that I was meant to be doing at this specific time slot or just right now. So I've realized in these past 7 days that I haven't been streaming that I'm probably going through burnout. I've experienced burnout before, but it was usually tied to the specific game that I was playing. For example, like in Lost Ark, when there wasn't a big patch recently, there was not much new stuff coming. The game is kind of in a lull. I'm bored of doing the same thing over and over. I got burnt out, but I would get burnt out of Lost Ark, not of streaming overall. And now recently I've been excited to get on BDO. I've recently come back to BDO, but the initial sort of flame of that like settled down a little bit, and I've started feeling that way. Really, I was feeling that way before Black Desert as well. But Black Desert sort of saved me. The coming back to Black Desert saved me from that for like a couple of weeks, and it just sort of came back because the problem wasn't the game that I was playing. The problem was the very core reason why I was going live in the first place. And that is very likely that I've been going live out of necessity rather than the desire to create, rather than a place of creativity. Partially it was because I was very excited for Chrono Odyssey, and I was gonna just like ride the wave of like Lost Ark and video until Chrono Odyssey was supposed to come out, and then it got rescheduled to come out in 2026 at the end of it. So something I was really excited for kind of got taken away, and that sort of led me down this road where I am now. There's nothing upcoming major in the genre that I'm known for, my niche genre. And then there is this backlog of games that I've been wanting to play, but I haven't, because when I stream an MMORPG, most of my time is spent playing that MMORPG. And when I'm not streaming, I'm usually working on a video about an MMORPG. And when I'm not doing either of those things, I'm probably doing something that's boring to do on stream in an MMORPG so that I can stay caught up, so I can still have my gear progress, so on and so forth. So it left me with very little time to play these single player games that are outside of my niche in my free time. And I didn't play them on stream because I was afraid of it not doing well on stream. So I now have this long backlog of games that I've just desperately been dying to play, and I've been promising to play, and I just never really get to because I don't have time to play it off stream. And then when I do play something off stream, I get this what I call streamer guilt, to where I feel guilty not streaming something, even if it's like a very minor game that no one knows, super niche game that no one asked for, no one ever brought it up in my stream. But if I play anything off stream, I have this guilt that like I should be streaming it. And I also started asking myself this past week, if money wasn't an issue, like if I didn't stream full time, if I had all this free time but money wasn't an issue, I didn't have to pay any bills or whatever, magically, let's say hypothetically, what would I do with my stream? And it was a question that I thought was easy to answer, but it wasn't. It was really hard because for the past 3 years, streaming full time, which is something that happened spontaneously and unexpectedly, made me focus on streaming in a way that made me, the thing that was pushing me to go live was initially creativity and desire and enjoyment. And it slowly started, very slowly, gradually spilling over into necessity. Pigeonholing myself into one genre, not streaming, not deviating to anything else, not experimenting, just staying in the one lane, the one thing that works, the one thing that always worked. And that worked for a while, and I enjoyed it the entire time. I've been enjoying it. It's just these past few months that I've been really kind of dealing with this challenge. Typically, when stream isn't in the picture, before I started streaming, I would play, I like to have an MMORPG. I call it my anchor game, the game I always come back to. But I would always on the side play some kind of single player game, some kind of game that I enjoy. Before I even started playing MMORPGs, before I was 18, when I bought my first gaming computer, I had all of these Xbox games right here for the Xbox. They go all the way down past the cat. That many games, I would just play single player games, and I would enjoy them. I would enjoy the story. And what the other thing that I was always afraid of with streaming them is that I am a serial sniffer in games. When I play single player RPGs, I am the person that goes behind every corner. I check every little corner, every little nook and cranny. I sniff around everywhere. I am that person that picks up every data shard in Cyberpunk and reads it. I'm that person. And I thought for the longest time that that was a very boring thing to stream. It's something that I enjoy doing, but I thought that it was something that was very boring for stream. Every time I brought that up, every time I talked about it on stream, a lot of people told me that they enjoy watching people play games that way because they know that they are not going to miss something that they want to see their reaction to. And also, whenever I did stream variety a couple of times, I scared myself into focusing too much on the natural drop-off that happens whenever anyone streams variety, that pivots away deviates away rather from what they normally stream. The viewership drop happened naturally. But what I didn't focus on until now is the percentage of people that showed up to my variety streams compared to the amount of viewers I get on an average stream is a lot higher percentage-wise than a lot of other streamers. a lot of you show up no matter what it is that I'm streaming. And I realized I have these fears of like being too boring, being too quiet on stream and scaring people away, but streaming something that's outside of the formula that's been working for me for 3 years. All of these fears, I've created them for myself. There is no reason for them. I focus too much on the negatives. That's something that I do in a lot of different aspects of my life and something I've been working on. And this is part of it. So that brings me to the future. What does any of this mean? Why am I bringing up any of this? You guys have silently been communicating to me that I should do this long before I realized any of this. And I've just been too blinded by my own fears that I've created for myself that I never noticed it. I never realized that. And I want to bring back the spark of creativity that was the initial reason why I went live in the first place. The first way that I plan to do that is by streaming games that I want to play, not just the ones that I feel like I should be playing. Typically, in the past, when a stream was not in the picture, I would have my MMO, and if I played that MMO for PvE, which is what I typically do nowadays, I would go really, really hard, and then I would take a little break and play a little single player. And even when I was playing the MMO actively, I would still play a single player game on the side. Now with streaming in the picture and this fear that I've created for myself that I have to stick to this very narrow formula that I've created for myself, and I cannot deviate from it because things are all of a sudden bad and it's just everything is ruined and it's over and everyone leaves and everybody unfollows and nobody cares anymore. That has never happened before. It never has. Every time that I've streamed variety, it never has. You guys always come back, you guys show up and you guys are there. I want to mix that into the equation. So I'm not leaving MMOs. I've always enjoyed playing MMORPGs and that's not going to change. But I'm going to stick to a structure going forward that I usually have out before, they usually had before streaming was in the picture. And also, the other way that I'm going to do it is by focusing a little bit more on YouTube. Because a lot of advice that comes from streamers and advice videos for streamers always drives the point home. You gotta do YouTube videos. Discoverability on Twitch is horrible. You gotta do YouTube videos. Most of the time, however, because of that advice, it is good advice. It is true. But because of it, I looked at it as a necessity as well. I didn't make videos out of passion and drive to want to make them. And then I made the Chrono Odyssey Lore video. And that was a video that opened up my fucking eyes. That I actually do enjoy making YouTube videos. When I was making that Chrono Odyssey Lore video, it took forever to make. And it took so much information and so much rewriting the script, so many different steps. And I enjoyed every single step of it, every single piece that put the entire video together. And when I watched that video back, I was proud of it and I was happy about it. When I posted it, I wasn't concerned with how well it was going to do. When I posted it, I was already happy because I made something out of passion and it felt good. And even now, I haven't streamed for the past 7 days because I've been in a burnout. But what kind of burnout is it that I've been simultaneously working on a video essay? This is the timeline for the video. I wrote the script. I finished writing the script yesterday. It's 10,000 words. That's not the behavior of somebody who's in a burnout from streaming and content creation. Clearly, it's not that I hate it now or don't like it as much anymore. It's that my creativity has been stunted by the fears that I've created for myself. And because I treat YouTube as like a side thing, I don't monetize any of my videos or anything like that. I treat YouTube as like a advertisement for my Twitch. So I was like, why would I put advertisements on my advertisements? The Chrono Lore video made me realize something. I picked a topic I was passionate about, and I didn't care that it was a niche topic, that most people in MMOs don't care about lore, that the video is most likely not going to do well for the amount of effort that it took, and I did not give a fuck about any of that. And even now, I'm working on this video, which is the analysis of the entire timeline of the rise and fall of PvP and MMORPGs. It's another topic that a lot of people are not going to care about, because the reality is a lot of people don't care about PvP and MMORPGs. I'm working on it because it comes from a place that I care about. I care about PvP and MMORPGs. It's a topic that inspires me, and I'm creating out of the desire to create, not out of necessity or anything like that. So that tells me that I'm not burnt out from streaming. I'm just burnt out because I'm not feeling creative. So there's going to be also more long form edited videos, video essays with a specific topic that I care about. It's going to be a niche topic. It's going to be whatever. It'll come to me. Probably in the shower, usually where it happens. It will cannibalize stream hours a little bit. I'm not going to let it cannibalize it all the way, because streaming is still something that I enjoy doing primarily. But I'm going to be making more of those videos, like the Chrono Odyssey Lore video. Not lore videos about games, but just videos where I can get really creative about a topic that I care about and create a narrative, create a script that is enjoyable to listen to. One of those videos where you don't give a fuck about the topic, about the subject, but the delivery is what makes it interesting. That's what I want to do with my YouTube. And with my stream, I want to do more variety. They're still going to come in arcs, like the whatever arc, the video game arc, because I still enjoy MMORPGs. MMORPGs are still going to be my anchor. But there's going to be a lot more deviation from only playing online RPGs, because that is the formula that worked. I also want to do more stream events and collaborations. I hate that word. I've been in my own bubble, in my own corner for too long. And I enjoy that. I prefer it that way 99% of the time. But recently it's been a little too much. And I think BDO has amplified that a little bit, because it's a very solo game. You can't do stuff with other people, really. So I've just been feeling kind of stuck. So it's not just going to be like subathons or whatever. I want to do random trivia with my friends or with other streamer friends. I want to do random events with other streamers. I want to do like scuffed Jeopardy about a random topic, a random game that we all play or stream. I want to do more co-op games with the gang or with you guys, with the community. Whatever it is, I just want to get more creative with my stream as well. So there's still going to be MMORPGs. I still like them. I've been logging onto BDO this past 7 days, even though I haven't been streaming it. New and old. There's going to be Duet Night Abyss coming on October 28th. I'm excited for that. They removed gacha. They removed energy system from it completely. It's just going to be anime Warframe, and I'm fucking stoked for that. Where Winds Meet, November 14th. It does have a energy system, but only for one piece of content, and there's plenty of other stuff to do in the game, so I'm excited for that. On the 18th, there's going to be a Throne of Liberty update with fresh start servers that like boost up your gear. It's like a fresh reset or whatever, so I'm going to try that. It's going to be 2 streams that are sponsored for 2 hours that I have to do, but I'm going to go beyond that just to try it out genuinely. If I like it, I'll stream more Throne of Liberty. If not, back to BDO, no problem. But there's going to be more arcs of variety on my stream of these games that I've been dying to play, that I've been asked to play. Dark Souls trilogy is #1. I've been fucking dying to play the Dark Souls trilogy, and I'm finally allowing myself to do that. Sekiro, Bloodborne, The Witcher, Persona 4 Golden. There's a remake coming, but it's not coming for a few years, so I might play Persona 4 Golden, we'll see. Ghost of Tsushima, I've been dying to play that game. Outer Wilds, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, huge fan of Jason Radio Future. I gotta play the spiritual successor. Black Myth Wukong, Red Dead Redemption 2, Death Stranding. You get the point. This isn't a list of games that I'm gonna play back to back to back to back when I come back to streaming. MMOs are gonna be there, and they're gonna be the anchor, whatever MMO it is that I'm playing at the time. Because typically that's just how I frame me playing video games. I have my anchor game, and then I have my little side games that I want to play. The bottom line is this. I became too focused on what works. I pigeonholed myself, and I focused on the one very narrow, very specific formula of what works for my stream, which is amplifying my personality to a higher degree that kind of feels draining sometimes, and streaming only online MMORPGs or MMOs because that is my niche. I pigeonholed myself through my own fears. And I've realized in these past 7 days that I quit a very exhausting soul-sucking job to stream for a couple of months before I find a different job. And that was 3 years ago. Stream has been working out, and I've been really enjoying it. But I cannot allow myself to turn streaming into that very soul-sucking job that I quit for streaming in the first place. Stream has always been a creative outlet for me, so has been YouTube videos. And I need to go back for that. So I want to focus more on creativity and more on community. The way I did in the past, before the pressure of streaming full-time flattened me into just focusing on what works. This is a leap of faith. I'm an adult and I realize this. It could backfire. If it works out, great, numbers-wise. But if it doesn't, numbers-wise, streaming will just become a hobby for me. I am not above getting a job. I really am not. Streaming was always meant to be something I do in the meantime for like a couple of months while I look for a different job. And it has been working out for 3 years. So either way, streaming and YouTube are now going to be driven a lot more by creativity, not doing things out of necessity just because I have to, just because I should. And that means taking that leap of faith. But I think this is going to be a net positive for everybody because the quality will improve. If I feel better, I stream better. If I feel better, I make better YouTube videos. If I'm more excited for the substance of what I'm streaming, I'm going to have much better streams and better natural energy on streams. If I'm a lot more excited about the topic that I'm covering in a YouTube video, even if it's a little bit more niche, I'm going to make a much better YouTube video and not just fucking review slop or whatever the fuck. And I think it's going to be a lot better for you guys as well, because a lot of you have been asking me to stream. All of these games have been asked of me to stream at least once by one of you guys. More variety is good. And for those that don't like variety, for those that don't tune into me streaming variety, that's fine. I'm not leaving my niche. I'm still the MMORPG guy, still there, still going to be in the niche, still going to stream Black Desert, Throne of Liberty, Lost Ark, whatever it is, Chrono Odyssey, whatever else comes out, Blue Protocol. I'm still going to stay in my niche. I'm not leaving MMORPGs behind. I'm just mixing in a lot more creative stuff and a lot more game titles that I've been too scared to stream, but I've been dying to play. So my comeback to stream is tomorrow, the 17th. But on the 18th, I have the sponsor for Throne of Liberty. I'm supposed to, according to the hashtag ad, I'm supposed to stream for 2 hours on the 18th from Liberty and for 2 hours on the 19th. Obviously, I'm going to go way over that, which is what I usually do with these types of streams, because I want to actually genuinely give it a try. It's a full reset. It's a full catch up. We'll see how it goes. If I don't end up liking it, I'll go back to video, no problem. After that, I'm going to announce my first arc, whether it's a Dark Souls arc, Sekiro arc, whatever it is. And if you didn't hear a game on this list that you would love to see me play, let me know what it is, because I probably forgot. This backlog has been going on for so goddamn long that there is a ton of games not on this list that I just forgot to mention when I was putting together the plan for this video. So lastly, but not leastly, I want to say thank you to you guys. Thank you for being here and supporting me. You guys have been, like I said earlier, silently communicating to me that I could have done this a lot earlier. I've just been too focused on the negatives and too scared to deviate from the formula that's been working. And that's fucking dumb. You guys have been showing up to variety streams, to different MMOs. There are people here that showed up to my Lost Ark streams years after they've quit Lost Ark because they told me they watched the stream for me. You guys have been putting this trust in me by showing up and showing me that you'll be here no matter what. Now is my turn to put my trust in you. And also put some trust in myself. Because part of that fear that kept me so zoned in on this formula was the lack of confidence that I can make it work. Statistically, it's very unlikely to be where I am already. Most people who grind with the goal to become a full-time streamer don't succeed. I wasn't even planning to stream. And here I am, with a community as loyal as you guys. So, the bottom line is, more variety arcs, MMOs are staying, more stream events, community, little trivias, little events like that, and more long-form video essays that are highly edited about topics that I care about, that I hopefully execute in narrating interestingly enough to make you guys care about them too. I will see you guys on the 17th, tomorrow, on my Twitch. And thank you for watching all the way through. I'll see you in the next one. Peace!